Here's the setup for this video. Learn why every successful improviser is an entrepreneur and what every entrepreneur can learn from successful improvisers. You learn how to market yourself, bring audiences to you, and grow your business faster. Welcome to 8 Unedited Minutes, brought to you by the Chicago Improv Festival. We're here with Rob Belushi and Jon Barinholtz. Thank you so much for being here, guys.
Sure.
Thank you for saying my name first.
Yeah, well, you were in the first seat, so.
That's exactly
It would
how
be
the
weird
order
if you said
goes.
me first, yeah.
Doesn't that have to bounce?
He makes a big deal out of, in terms of alphabetically.
Hey, we only have 7 minutes and
Okay,
45 seconds left. We
the
gotta
clock's
get
ticking,
going.
man.
Okay, go.
So to get the clock ticking and with the conversation,
Sure.
when we first met, the first question that I asked you guys from the audience, and then we got to talk about a little bit more, was with improvisers. That practicing that, honing the creative skill and getting good at your craft, and yet at the same time you're a business.
Mm-hmm.
Could you talk about how you two just really realized that it's not just go on stage and hope someone sees you, and at the same time it's not just you're a pure business selling everyone to try and pitch a script. When did you realize and how did you hone that skill of being an improviser and a business?
Sure, I think, well, it's a marriage of those two things,
Yeah.
and it's something that, I realized it when I think we were in Mick Napier's class, Annoyance, and he said something to the effect of, don't be afraid to name what you want and say it. And I think we are a lot when we're coming up as improvisers. And whether that's, I'm doing this so I can, because I love improv, but it's making me have better interactions with my family members, or I'm doing this because I want to be on Saturday Night Live, or I'm doing this because I want to have my own television show one day, or movie, or whatever it is, to not be afraid to say that, not be ashamed, because you would never be ashamed to say, I want to go to law school because I want to be a lawyer, right? Like, it's just like, it's what you want to do. I think that's where it starts.
I think it's such a great thing, and you're so great at that, of like naming your goals and not being afraid to achieve them. And I think sometimes we look at ourselves as students for a long time, and or we want to be humble, and that's so great. You can be humble and do all the work and take notes, but also say, I want to be on stage at Second City.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do things that will help me get there. Like, I'm going to cultivate relationships with people that, I'm going to email people and invite them to shows. I'm going to do shows. I'm going to think about this in a way where, like, what is Second City looking to cast? And Second City is an insert for whatever you want. And okay, I want to be a writer on, my favorite show is Modern Family. So I'm going to watch Modern Family and see like what those producers are looking to produce. So I'm going to write a show in that vein that is also my thing, but like, that's humble, but also like doing the work and being smart about the work. And I know for Jon and I, we find a lot of joy together. So we're open to doing a lot of different things, but we move around the spectrum. Like, oh, this would be fun to do. And also like right now we're writing a thriller. Like, yeah, it's really fun, but also like, I love thrillers. It's a great, Jon loves thrillers. It's a great change for what we've been doing for a long time. But there's also like, as Get Out shows or a lot of other things, there's a great space for like cheaper thrillers right now to get made. Like, if we were saying like, oh, I love this obscure superhero, like, well, that's probably being done. So it might not be the best use of our time. It could be. It could be if that's your choice. But like, oh, there's something we can do.
We had a big fight about an obscure superhero before this interview. So.
Well, I was just mad that Jon didn't know who it was.
I'd never heard of Underwear Man.
Well.
No,
did you invent him?
He invented him.
I mean,
we won't get into that.
I've saved a lot of lives in my own.
I think a big thing too is like, no one is proactively trying to make your career. No one is doing that for you. So things open that you may want, positions open, spots open that you may want. You may want that spot on main stage. You may want that, staff on a show in a writer's room. You may want to teach this class at this college, whatever. But those may open, but no one's coming to find you for that.
How did you realize that? Was there a moment?
I think you kind of feel it out. I mean, for me, it was, hey, my moment of when I knew I had to leave Chicago was I felt like I'd done everything that I really found joy in here, and I was like, I know what I want, and I can't necessarily grow anymore here.
Yeah.
So I decided to move out to Los Angeles, and then after 2.5 years of waiting tables, I was like, you know what, this is not like exactly what I want to do. I don't want in 10 years, I don't want to still be waiting tables.
Yeah.
And I wrote a short little web series that with Rob and another buddy, and we were like, we should get this made. Now that we have this content, let's get it made. And we got it made by Comedy Central Digital. And it's like starting a pattern of action and being proactive is like the best thing. I mean, you realize it when you realize it. It's like you kind of feel it in your bones, I guess. Like, hey, I'm not making money doing the thing that I want to do. So how can I start how can I start taking steps to make that happen for me? It happens in small steps.
And I think, and it's something that like I hear a lot about. Like I hear, people who, being professional is a beautiful thing, and like part of being professional is like knowing, like if you're an actor, knowing what you're supposed to be paid, knowing how your pension works, knowing how to get insurance, like knowing who to talk to, like these things are important for you to know, like knowing when, and that helps you down the line, like knowing if your agent's doing a good job because you're not getting negotiated, or knowing what other people are getting, knowing what favored nations means, like knowing the terminology.
This is your business.
This is your business.
You should know it.
Be like, oh, I don't know about that. Like that. I'm into the joy of it. Like, yeah, well, we're all actors because we think it's fun and enjoying and grateful and fulfilling. But like, you are a company, and it's your livelihood, or it's not, And so, I mean, there are many gradations along the journey, of being a fully self-insulated company, of course, and constantly looking for gigs and that stuff. But like, know your business and don't be, be proud to know your business. I mean, nobody knows the business like, this guy. So
no,
I don't mean the business of acting.
I think be
the
proud
business of murder.
For the record, the real job.
Be proud and excited about what you do, and know that that's feeding your want, right? That's feeding your want, like what you need. Like we love to create. We love, we get off on that. That's exciting for us. But also acknowledging that there is a business component to that. There's a real life side. Like I am married now. I want to have a family. I want to have kids. I can't support my kids by doing 5 improv shows a week,
Well, it sounds like part of that was going back to the beginning, which I'm guessing you did, or at least stumbled across, was knowing what you want to do. I mean, you can't just, I want to be, whether it's famous, improviser, working actor, it's a huge difference. I want to write scripts. I want to be in movies. I want to be in SNL.
I want to create and allow that to afford me an income options. And a life and options to keep doing that. And that still excites me, and I want to do that every day. And maybe that won't one day, but that's just like the super objective, right? So like a lot of the tactics inside that are like, I would like to produce a pilot. I would like to get this web series off the ground. I would like to do a show at this college, or do this festival, or just like get a run of 6 shows at I.O. I mean, that's how we started. Like Jon and I wanted to get in the CIF in 2007. Six. Yeah. And we did, and then we were like, we really want to invite these people to come see it because we'd like to do this show together at I.O. because we've been training at I.O., interning at I.O. We loved I.O. and we did, and China gave us a run, and it was so fun.
And then the rest starts to take off.
And it's like, and then goals adjust. So it's like starting small and getting achievable goals. Like that's it.
Let's stop this one right here.
Cool.
And we'll continue the conversation on the next one.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, you got it.